Most people have a fear about dying, and they have a quiet fear about life. What if you were broke, had no money, had no access to financial assistance? Would you encounter fear? What if the doctor told you tomorrow you have cancer? Will fear overcome you? What if you were suspected of having a deadly virus, Ebola, AIDS? Would fear come into your state of conscious? What if you was threatened with your life? Either your life or submit to mind control or slavery. Would you yield to fear? What if you were told your loved one would be killed? Would you submit to fear? Most of us live in fear or ignorance. Fear or ignorance. So, how can you say I know God and then have fear? Or, how can you be in a terrible situation and you pray to God, and then 30 minutes later, you worry? That's a contrast. Children are born into this world pure, innocent, immaculate, uncorrupt, honest, pristine, and with a virgin mind and a virgin body. We adults are charged with the responsibility as parents, guardians, and caretakers of those children. But we transform a child's pure, innocent mind into a polluted, contaminated young adult. We teach our children fear. We do that. Fear is a restriction and limitation on our lives until we correct it. In ancient Africa, you conquered your fear through initiation. I give you two examples. Imagine to pass the first test dealing with fear, you had to swim from point A to point B underwater, a short distance. And assuming that you all know how to swim. And so you dive into the water and you're swimming and you get 3/4 of the way there to the other end, and then all of a sudden you see 3 large alligators surround you. How will you react? I'll give you another example. You're tired. You lay in your bed and you go sound asleep. You're sleeping like a baby. You're sleeping so good. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 men bust into your room, grab you, blindfold you, handcuff you behind your back, shackles your feet, and drag you out the house. They take you to a location and throw you in a pit. And you sitting there, blindfolded, handcuffed, feet shackled. And then all of a sudden, you hear the sound of snakes. You hear the hissing sound. And then all of a sudden, you hear the roar of a lion. And then you can feel the lion breathing over you. How will you react? To pass the test in both situations, you must act with courage, bravery, and heroism. That becomes natural. That becomes the way you deal with all situations in life, with courage, bravery, and heroism. That's the norm. In the first example, the 3 alligators were heavily fed food before the initiative dived into the water. And when alligators are heavily fed, they will not eat you. So the illusion of fear was only being in my mind, because those alligators was not going to hurt me or touch me. So as I reacted with fear, it would have been only an illusion. The second example, being in the pit. And to pass the test, I had to get out of the pit alive. Showing bravery and courage and heroism, I would have been cool, calm, and collective. Okay, what do? I got to use my hands. I got to use my legs. I got to be able to maneuver. So you start using your hands and you realize that the handcuffs are fake. And then you just kick your feet and you realize the shackles was just fake. And you pull off the blindfold and you look around and everything was just sound effects. You were the only one in that pit. But in your mind, you could react with fear and thought your life was over. Thought that you were in an imminent danger. That's what fear do to us, an illusion. May peace, love, and grace manifest in your life. I love you. I love you.